Dara Fitzgerald, I'm Head of Insight for Fresh Egg. I'm going to talk to you a little bit today in quite rapid form about a new set of reports in Google Analytics called multi-channel funnels. So these new reports are available to all GA users now and can be used very effectively to find hidden value in your SEO efforts. So just to add a bit of context around the importance of multi-channel funnels. In the modern digital landscape, obviously visitors have got a lot of different routes to interact with your website: search, social, email, affiliate, display, so on and so on. So multi-touch conversion really is coming into its own, and it's important to view each touch point in isolation as well as part of overall performance. So the standard for many years has been to use a last click attribution model, which basically means if a visitor comes to your site 3 times through 3 different campaigns, any resulting conversion is credited to the last click. So in that case, the problem is the introducer and the influencer get no credit. It all goes to the closer. Conversely, with first click attribution, it's the introducer that gets all the credit. So regardless of how many times somebody subsequently comes back to the site through different campaigns or keywords, it all goes to the introducer. So the influencer and the closer get none of the credit. So there's a lot of problems with using either a first or a last click model. And to hijack quite a commonly used analogy, a football analogy, which I hate football, but that's beside the point. If you're to use the last click attribution model, it'd be the equivalent to sacking your midfielder because he doesn't score any goals. So despite the fact that he creates a lot of opportunities, because he's not on the score sheet, he doesn't get any credit. And with first click, it's the equivalent of sacking your striker because he doesn't create any goals. So with any single interaction attribution model, you're biased towards a certain section of the buying funnel. So if you reduce the amount of keywords at the top, you drive less awareness and you drive less people into the funnel, despite the fact that they might not seem to convert. Similarly, at the bottom, you're reducing the amount of people you're bringing back to the site to convert. So Google's answer to this multi-attribution question is multi-channel funnels. And the overview report, which is a bit top line, shows you the standard conversions, but also this new metric, assisted conversions. The Venn diagram shows you the overlap between the different channels. In this case, 6.53% of the conversions involve both organic and paid search. So the path length report, which looks quite boring, is actually you can use it to justify the need for using multi-channel funnels in the first place. In this case, you can see that over 60% of the conversions actually involve more than one touch point. So if you just look at last click or first click, you're going to run into difficulties because there's more than one step in the journey. The time lag report's quite similar, although this shows you the typical number of days between the first visit and the actual conversion. So again, you can see that over 45% of the conversions occurred after 1 day or more. What's even more interesting is you can see that actually nearly 25% of the conversions occurred after 12 days or more. So possibly people are researching and then coming back when they've been paid maybe. So the assisted conversions report's where it starts to get really interesting for marketers, because alongside the standard last interaction conversions, you've actually got this extra metric where you can see how many times each channel assisted in a conversion but didn't get the credit under the standard last click model. In this case, with organic, it actually assisted in 1,800 conversions as well as converting 2,200. You can also look at first and last click side by side. The point of this, or why you might want to do this, is to see whether a channel is more of an introducer or a closer. So in this case, again with organic, you can see that it's actually more of a converter than it is an introducer. But with other channels like display, it might be the other way around. So the top conversion paths report basically lists out every single step in that journey, which is really, really useful and has never been possible within Google Analytics before. So you can see here the top converting path is a 2-step path. Both steps were a direct visit. And you have to bear in mind that this standard default report will only show you the channels tracked as standard by GA, but you can use custom channel groupings to be very clever. So you might want to split organic down between brand and non-brand terms, or between generic and specific terms. You could also split out Google Places, Google Shopping, affiliates, emails, you name it. So really, really powerful. Conversion segments are also incredibly powerful and are basically multi-channel funnels equivalent of advanced segments. So you can basically look at just a subset of your conversion data. So it might be where the first interaction was organic non-brand and the last interaction was organic brand. So you can obviously compare the relationship between the two. A few points to note about multi-channel funnels. It works off a 30-day conversion window. So any touch points prior to that 30-day sample won't be included. Also, if a channel appears more than once between the start and the end of that path, it will only count as one assist. And very importantly, direct visits will take credit. in standard reports, they don't overwrite a pre-existing campaign. So a few use cases, and probably the most important one for SEOs, you might want to compare the relationship between non-brand and brand. So you might find the generic terms you're chasing seem to convert at a lower rate, but actually if it wasn't for those generics, you might not get the resulting brand conversions in the first place. So you can use multi-channel funnels to try and find that relationship. So in this case, you'd set up a conversion segment which includes only conversions where the first interaction was organic, non-brand, but the last interaction was organic brand. And in this case, you'd see that there was an additional 79 conversions where organic non-brand assisted, but the actual credit was claimed by an organic brand term. Another use case, again, probably quite popular among SEOs, you might want to see where your organic traffic is driving value for paid activities. So similarly, again, you set up a conversion segment. This time the first interaction would have to be organic and the last interaction would have to be paid. And again, you can see that there's 95 additional conversions where organic assisted but didn't get the credit, paid did. It's absolutely imperative to get the most out of multi-channel funnels that you tag all of your campaigns. So if you don't know what Google UTM campaign parameters are, you should look it up, and you should be tagging all of your email activity, your affiliates, everything else to make sure you get the most accurate data out of it. So just to sum up, some of you might be familiar with this. Marketers in the past have been very guilty of the say what you see type approach to performance measurement. The danger with that is if you don't look at the whole picture, you can get it very wrong and you can make very bad decisions. So I urge you, if you're not already, start to look beyond the last click and view conversions as an overall journey. Thank you very much. If anyone has got any questions, come and grab me after.